The New York Knicks, they overcame a 20-point deficit after defeating the Pacers 106-100 in Game 3 to avoid going down 0-3 in the series. Karl Anthony Towns, he scored 20 of his 24 points in the fourth quarter to complete the comeback, the most points in any quarter of his playoff career. Altogether, Towns, he finished the final frame with 20 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist after scoring just 4 points through the first 3 quarters of the game. And that is as many points, rebound, and assists as the entire Pacers team had in the fourth quarter. The skies, they have returned to being orange and blue, even though it's a little chilly here in Target Center. Stephen A. Smith, I was thinking of you as I was watching the end of this game.
Well, listen, here's the deal. I'm very ecstatic that the New York Knicks were able to overcome a 20-point deficit that they were suffering from in the first half. I didn't like the way they looked. I didn't like that Jalen Brunson had 4 fouls in the first half. I didn't like that him and Karl Anthony Towns was in foul trouble, okay? I didn't like it at all, but Karl Anthony Towns answered the call in the fourth quarter. Got to give credit where credit's due. Tom Thibodeau, although forced to, used his bench. I was very, very happy about that. Jalen Brunson, key basket down the stretch, not to mention all 10 of his free throws he made. The New York Knicks, 15 of 16 free throws in the fourth quarter. 10 of 10 at clutch time. 6 of 6 over the last 20 seconds or so. They closed the deal. But let me caution them in this. Indiana has lost Game 3 in every series. And then they've come back and won games 4 and 5. They could easily do that again if the New York Knicks don't play better. You can't have those brothers in foul trouble. You can't be subpar offensively. You've got to sense the moment and understand who you're going up against with Indiana. Nesmith getting hurt didn't hurt the Knicks. Didn't hurt them at all. All of those things are not things you have to concern yourself with in Game 4. Indiana is going to be ready. The objective is to tie the series, reclaim home court advantage, okay? Handle your business. That was one step. It was really, really nice. But you got more work to do.
Okay, before I comment, you said during the break you're wearing thermal underwear.
I'm having trouble.
I know we're supposed to be talking about that. Malika's doing fine.
She was shivering.
Okay.
She was shivering.
I got comments on the thermal status.
She was shivering.
I had to get that off my chest.
I carried the thermal underwear.
Talk about
damn right I got them on. I got them on right here, and I feel very comfortable.
Okay. Listen. I love the fact that they Knicks fought. I texted you at halftime. I said, can you talk to the team? And
no, you didn't. You texted me at halftime. I said, I already made my hotel reservation. I did. That's what you said. That's what you said.
I know a lot of people are thinking the same way. But credit to Karl Anthony Towns. Thibodeau's taken a lot of heat. He did change things. And by the way, why would Thibodeau change things after Game 1? They basically had that Game 1, which you have changed things after that loss. Because that was a game they were up big. And that's my question for you, because everybody says Thibodeau should have done this or that. I thought he did the right thing Game 2, because Game 2, if you're coaching, what are you saying? Aren't you saying, like, that kind of worked? We just blew it at the end.
There's no doubt. Game 1 they had in the bag until they didn't. Until Nesmith went nuclear in the Garden. But to me, the story of Game 3, we talk about Cat in the fourth quarter. New York, best and most complete defensive game in the series.
Yep.
I've been talking about three-point defense all along.
Right.
Indiana only made 5 threes in Game 3.
Sure.
5 threes in the fourth quarter, only 1 of 8 from the three-point line. If they can replicate that come Game 4, they're going to give themselves a chance.
But Rick Carlisle said after the game that it was partly a product of the fact that they staggered, even if it had to be because of the fouls, the minutes of Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson, who aren't necessarily their strongest defenders. If they're not forced to do that again, it was sort of that they were forced to make that decision, Perk. It wasn't necessarily all schematic.
Well, they don't even matter no more because Wright, Salmon, they earn minutes. They're going to play in Game 4. Believe that. Their energy in Deuce McBride was contagious. In the first half, I swear, I thought the Knicks were dead bird, tall grass. And then all of a sudden, the bench came and gave them some type of life support. And then we saw Karl Anthony Towns in the fourth quarter become a Knick. And it was so contagious that I saw OG Anunoby defend Nesmith on the baseline. Not only did he block his shot, but he did it with force and was talking noise. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is one of those moments, this is one of those wins that bring the unit back together again, right? And I saw togetherness last night. And when I'm looking at the Knicks, I'm saying to myself, they have all the momentum. Because Big Brodie Brunson is not going to shoot 6 for 18 from the field again. I'm expecting him to have his moment in Game 4. Last but not least, can we stop all this nonsense? Not us up here. Can we stop? Jalen Brunson would never be benched. He is a superstar.
bench?
No. This is the word around. I'm talking to other crazy people
The
out
streets
there.
are talking.
He would never be benched, man. He's a superstar.
Okay. Let's not give any shine to the idiot trolls out there who would mention such a thing, thinking that Jalen Brunson's going to get benched. Of course he's not getting benched, especially with the New York Knicks, because he is their offense most of the time. That is not going to happen. Outside of that, if y'all see me bopping and weaving and all of that other stuff, it's not just because the New York Knicks won, but one of my favorite songs, Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter. That was rocking and blazing and all. I mean, we like that stuff. So we like that, you know what I'm saying? We go flow with it. At the end of the day, it's orange and blue skies, baby, right now. But that does not mean that's going to happen in Game 4. They got to answer the call and come with the same level of urgency as they did in the fourth quarter of Game 3. Otherwise, they're going home before a seventh game. It's not going past 6.
That matchup, Karl Anthony Towns, Miles Turner, right? People are saying what adjustments should Rick Carlisle do to contain Karl Anthony Towns? What would you do?
Well, what I loved watching Cat in that fourth quarter was the aggression. I mean, Miles Turner's a hell of a defender. He can block shots. Karl had him on the perimeter. After all that, he was putting the ball on the floor, getting to the rim. Stephen A. touched on. They got to the foul line 16 times in the fourth quarter because they attacked. They flipped the script on the Pacers. Indiana's got to get back to playing their brand of basketball.
Well, one piece of good news for the Halliburton family here. John Halliburton, Tyrese's father, he is going to be back in the building, according to our Shams Charania, for this Game 4.
He served his time.
Absolutely. Since April 29th, that altercation with Giannis Antetokounmpo, he is going to be back for home games.
Let's make sure you don't serve time
home
again.
Games for the Indiana Pacers here.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. Think I'm gonna try to wear, pull up long range. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA over here,